All right. Hey, this is Richard Roop, and this is the Roop Partnership Program Jumpstart call for some of my new partners. And I'm going to go ahead and record this, guys, and it might be useful to review later or share or something. So I'm just going to help you give you a rundown on all the sources that you have. I'm going to go ahead and take questions on what you guys need help with now. Okay, so guys, I just put together a new apprenticeship program. It's like the Roop Partnership Program, but it's without coaching. So it's everything you guys signed up for, but they're not getting the one-on-one coaching. Okay, so I'm going to use this as a guide to let you know what you have, what I recommend you guys do to get up and running, and let you know how to get as much support from me as you need, because I've offered you unlimited support until coaching starts. And then actually, because you're in coaching, you still get unlimited support for 3 more months, okay? I'm gonna go by this list here first. Okay, so how many people have started using their 5x5 system? Good, okay. You have that complete system. I recommend that you go through that step by step. It's a great training system, and then I can take any questions on that. I know Marcus has been asking questions in the comment section on the platform. It's a little hard for me to coach that way, but I'll do the best I can if you leave me comments like that. Let's see. So the 5x5 real estate profit system. It takes you through a lot of my best practices as a real estate investor, but then it also goes into a lot of different investing models, all right? The next system that you have is the free and clear cash machine. Now, I am still in the process of digitizing those audios. I need to find a copy of them. My digital guy, he can't find all my files from before. So I'm going to get that up there pretty quickly. Now, what I did put up there is I put all the documents. So there's a data disk that comes with that course. In fact, yeah. Why don't I go in there? Yeah, let's take a look. All right, here's the free and clear. So I've turned this on for you guys. Okay. So you had a number of things turned on when you signed up, then some more, and I put a bunch of them today. Okay, and I'll keep adding to your library. All right, so the free and clear cash machine, if you click on the course, you'll have access to it. And what's in here is it says the 8 audios are pending. As I promised before, they would be up by October 1st. I'm still shooting for that. That should be fine. Now the system manual, you have a quick start guide. It's 28 days to fast cash. It's like a 28-day plan to raise some money quickly. So that's kind of cool to go through. It's a nice recap of the process. And then you got the full manual, okay? And it's a PDF, and I just turned it into a doc file as well. So you can download those right away. Plus, in the marketing section, there's 8 sections. In the marketing to buy section, we have all the marketing tools that are in the free and clear cash machine. And then pre-screening section, I got the tools for that. The free and clear offer generator, this is the original, well, actually the original was called the maximum allowable offer generator. Then when I created this course, I kept updating that spreadsheet, and I turned it into the free and clear offer generator. And then this was published back about 10 years ago. So then since then, I created the ultimate profit generator. So some of the training videos that you get are using this old version. So it's nice to have, but the principles behind the deal structure and using this, you learn a lot of that going through those training videos. There's a lot of training on it. So you have a copy of that, but what you want to do is you want to go ahead and use the ultimate profit generator. That was actually an $800 upgrade to the people that own this course, and so I gave that to you, as part of your package. Then the section on negotiating, there's some tools there. Private money, here's some tools for raising private money and using private money. Selling tools, and the paperwork. Now the paperwork, there's a lot of documents in there. I went ahead and created this PDF today that will, it has a list of all your documents. That your manual has a list of all the documents and has all the documents. But you have this one PDF will show you what's in there. So when you're on your platform. Then, oh, actually, I put that list right here on the website. Those are all the documents you have. And then here's a description of the free and clear cash machine if you're wondering what you actually own. This is a full description of it, so you can read it. I guess if you own it, sometimes you don't see this information. Let's see. So that's the free and clear. So let's go back. The other tools that you have the 5x5. In your libraries, you have 7 steps to super success. Amazing done for you profits. This is, there's a high level Roop Partnership Program called the Joint Venture Partnership Program, which I'm not offering. I might offer it next year. But I have to set it up and I have to limit it because last time I had like almost 80 people and I was doing all this, these deals together and it was just too much. So right now the Roop Partnership Program makes more sense. There's a lot of support and I'm going to go forward with that. Plus the $1 Million Coaching is always great. So this amazing done for you profits talks about a lot of the services that we offer to have things done for you. Now, it used to be part of the National Alliance of Real Estate Entrepreneurs, and I'm relaunching that. That should be probably by the end of the year. I'll have all these done for you services lined up again. I have some already, like the $1 Million Postcards. Same with breakthroughs in real estate. That's kind of related to a lot of done for you services. Constructing multiple offers in minutes. This is some information. This is on version 2.0 of the Ultimate Profit Generator. All these are still good to go through. I'm going to put together a software training hub where you know all of the videos you have and which ones I recommend you do first. Right now, you can just use any of them. Okay. Let's see. Some people had some questions about the Dodd-Frank Act and how it affects seller financing, so I did a program on that. Here's some private money and owner financing tools. However, you have the Ultimate Profit Generator, so you really don't need those tools. They're all incorporated into your software. How to flip some deals. Coach Courtney and Coach Keith Young, Courtney Jones and Keith Young, they put this together. This is how to flip deals. So I don't really teach flipping a lot, but because it's pretty simple motto and it's good for some quick cash, but there's so much competition out there. I rather just, number one, I'll flip deals when I come across them with my other marketing, not doing everything everybody else is doing. And typically I don't want to flip the deal. I want to keep all the profits. I mean, because if you flip the deal, you got to leave money on the table. I don't like giving them money away. But if you want to flip deals, there's a step-by-step program on that. Let's see. This is some information on the Ultimate Strategy. You have the Ultimate Strategy course, the Free and Clear Cash Machine, and this is a recap of how it works. Influencing buyers, sellers, and private investors automatically. The magic behind the Ultimate Profit Generator. Some more deal structuring and UPG training. Let's see, marketing for finding private money. It's actually a three webinar series I did over 3 months on marketing to private money. And what I would say is that there are some things in there I wouldn't do. So I'm going to put some updates in there. And I did put in there that, if you're going to use them, get a hold of me and talk about it. I'm going to put, I didn't do anything wrong, but there's some things I would do differently. I definitely would not do any mass marketing for private lenders. Okay, although I've created tools for that, I don't recommend you do that. I recommend you use my tools for your warm list. Here's a webinar on marketing for great leads for buyers, sellers, and private investors. $1 Million Mindstorming. This was a customer appreciation event I did in 2003. It's very interesting to watch. A lot of good information, even though it's, what is that, 17 years old? Look how young I look. All right. Now, this is amazing. Roop Done For You Investor Website. I asked a bunch of people, what are the best websites out there today? And I created this Roop Investor website 9 years ago, and it's still probably the best website design out there as far as strategy behind it. I recommend you go through that. And this is, I'm actually going to go ahead and create a template again. I sold that as a Roop design website, but I'll go ahead and make it available to my coaching clients. And I'm going to get that put together. And I have Tim over at iNet USA. He helped me host this before, and he can help me again. Actually, I'm working with REI Black Book. I'm probably going to get it. Actually, I'm working with them right now to get it on their platform first. Okay. Let's see. The secrets behind free and clear investing. More training on free and clear investing. How to live your preferred lifestyle. I already gave this to you guys. That's a real good program to go through if you haven't gone through it. The secret of creating your ideal future. Secrets of real estate investing success. This was a great webinar that me and Coach Courtney did. I surveyed all of my thousands of members and got their questions, right, submitted. And then we sorted them, categorized them, and I knocked them all out on this one call. It's a very good program I recommend. And then the Ultimate Flyer System. This is using Post-it notes, my Post-it note system, and the Ultimate Profit Generator. Now here is your software, okay? So this is where you download your software. Your Ultimate Profit Generator is version 3.05, and I'm going to be coming out with 4.0, and I will give you that when that comes out. I'm trying to get that online at REI Black Book or some online platform like that. I'm thinking REI Black Book is the way to go. And then, in fact, you know, if people own a license to it, they could still access it even if they didn't have REI Black Book. But that's where they're a software company, and they're award-winning software company. So I'm interested in, you know, taking advantage of their expertise. And then there's these 3 training videos on the Ultimate Profit Generator. This was, I think, like version 1. Okay, so like I said, I'll organize a list of all these training videos and tell you which, you know, give a chronological order to them. And then, okay, so we got the Roop Partnership Program. So what I'm doing is the more people I'm working with, the more I can afford to invest into like a group call like this or other things. So tonight I'm offering other people, if they want to have this Roop Partnership package without the coaching, without the profit share, I just set this up today, and people can buy that package for 9 payments of $300 a piece. So that's $2,700, but there's no coaching, and that's spread out over 9 months. So that makes it really, some people said they needed some help getting in, working with me and stuff. And so that's what I came up with. All right, let's go back up to see what else is in your package here. Let's see, you got, all right, the experiment. We're doing a 3-day intensive full day, like 8 to 5 or 8 to 4, Pacific time type of days, okay? Or 9 to 4 at the shortest, okay? But they're basically 3 full days of intensive step-by-step, here's how you make gobs of money in real estate from start to finish, from finding the deals, pre-screening the deals, negotiating the deals. Now, structuring the deals we do want with the software. So, and I'll just cover some, maybe questions on that type of thing, because that's an ongoing thing. I'm going to be doing deal structuring webinars every week for the coaching clients. What I do is they have drop-in coaching or drop-in calls. So before I had, me and Keith were doing one each. Right now, I'm just going to do one each week. I'm going to do a Q&A call at least once a week. Yes. And then several other calls, like a training call each month, alternate training webinar. This 3-day boot camp, you get a ticket to that. It's not free, but you get a ticket to that, and so I mean it's part of your package. And what we're doing, we call it the ultimate experiment. Okay, so you guys learned a little bit. If you were in the 7-figure lifestyle business challenge, you learned about the experiment. Well, the experiment is a process that I apply to boot camps, where we go through the process, kind of some of the process that we went through during the 5-day challenge on setting a goal. But in this case, we're setting a cash or income goal that is 90 days out. And then after the boot camp, there's a process that we've used to help people achieve that goal. It's kind of accountability, but it's not like coaching. It's more of a systematic process to keep you accountable. So we'll share that with you at the event. And then that's that 90 days of support on that cash or income goal that you created during that intensive training program is included. And so the other steps in a training like that 3-day boot camp, we go negotiating, deal structuring, then we talk about private money, we talk about selling, we talk about the inner game, and we talk about level 3 business mastery, which is leveraging yourself. So those are kind of the core areas that you need to do well in. And the great thing about a boot camp is everybody's got the home study, okay? And they come to boot camp, and it's really to refine what you fill in some gaps, all right? Even though we walk you through the whole process. We got some great feedback on the experiment when we've done it before. $1 Million postcards. Okay, I've been working with some of you one-on-one already. I'm ready to do that. You can go ahead and jump on my Calendly, okay, Calendly/Richard Roop, and you can go ahead and book as many 15-minute quick calls as you need. As you guys know, those usually turn into a half hour, an hour, or 2 hours sometimes. But if I don't have any other calls, I'll go ahead and do that, okay? But just plan on 15 minutes. I want to knock it out, okay? But to get you up and running, it takes a little more time, the initial call. So I've worked with a couple of you on getting your postcards set up. In order to do that, you need to have a website. So we're setting up websites, okay? You need to have a business name. You need to have a phone. There's certain things that you have to set up if you don't already have it. So we go through that checklist, the setup checklist. Then we go ahead and customize your card. And on the card, we like to offer a free special report. So I give you those tools. You'll want to customize those tools so that you can use them on your website and as something that you send out as a PDF or in the mail, put it as part of your credibility kit, that type of thing, all right? All of your marketing tools are in the 5x5 system. There's a section on, there's several downloadable tools sections, but there is the whole instant marketing tools at the end. And then in your free and clear, you have all the marketing tools in there. And then I have another advanced marketing system called Strategic Marketing Secrets. And I'm going to check if there's any additional tools that you don't already have. I'll get that into your platform. Okay. But you pretty much got everything. And I'm creating new tools right now. And when you're in coaching, so you're in coaching until the end of January. So when you're in coaching, you get all my updated tools. Okay. And for this Roop Apprentice, I'm also going to get updated tools during that up to the end of January. $1 Million postcards. We just need to meet on that. We talk about your farm area, what kind of mailing lists we can get. Some of you have access to services. I have list brokers, so we just coordinate. Do you have a list? Do we need? Okay, where are we going to get our list? And then what is your geographic farm area? Real estate black book. Okay, I sent you a jumpstart email. It has the link to, it has the link to REI Black Books where you can turn it on with no setup fee and no consulting fees, and they'll support you, and then you get your first month free. I recommend you do that by October 1st. You do have couple more weeks after that if you want, but I recommend you if you want to try that out, go ahead and start it whenever you want. By October 1st is great. Then you're kind of using it during November, and then you'll decide if you want to continue with it or not. Because during October, all you guys, as well as my new apprentice, Roop Apprenticeship program people, they're going to get my support until the end of October. This unprecedented access to me, which it's normally not required when I have my coaching put together, which starts November 1st. I have my coaching team. So I'm just doing this because I just want to, I'm dedicated to getting you guys up and running and successful. And, but after that, nobody else is going to be able to get what you guys got, just so you know. You should appreciate that. But in coaching, because I have a lot of group support and I got my staff, I'm still available unlimited when you're in coaching, but it's just not required as much. Okay? Let's see, the ultimate masterclass. Okay, so we're gonna do another 5-day challenge, but we're getting feedback from you guys, and we're putting together. Actually, I think it's gonna be like 5 times better. It's gonna be more structured. It'll be great. And so I would recommend you do that October 13th to the 14th. I'm giving you a VIP pass, so you can get the recordings and you can, be on the live, get all the VIP benefits. But we're going to do another 5-day event. I'm pretty excited. And then unlimited support from me, like I told you, till the end of October. And then people that are not in coaching, by going to the boot camp, they do get 90 days of accountability group process support, which is coaching, but it's a very effective process. The marketing tools, like I said, all my tools are in the 5x5 and the free and clear cash machine, and I'll make sure that you have any other tools that you need and any new ones that come up through the end of January 31st. And I already went through this list of all these programs. So okay, and then coaching, what we're gonna do is, if you have any questions about coaching, I haven't put that together as anything on the web, except if you have that 5x5 quick start guide. In that, there's a section that describes coaching and what all happens in coaching and all that. That's what we're putting all back together for November 1st. So you're getting all those benefits that we've done before. What you do is we'll assign you a coach. It'll probably be Mark Hoffman. He's probably going to take all the new members this time, but some of you might get Keith if he can't handle it all. And then as we grow, Keith, and then we'll bring on other coaches as needed. But I think Mark can handle a good number, and he's an awesome coach. Well, they're all awesome, so they're all good. You'll have a personal coach, and then I'll get you information on all your benefits as a coaching member before it starts. So, let's see. Coaching. All right. So anybody who is not a Roop, watching this replay or who got on the live call, I don't even know what's going on. I just started streaming. I just went live. I'm all by myself. I'm out of my element. Tim's usually helping me out. I don't know if Kendall's on the line. I don't even know who's on it. So let's go. I'm going to go ahead and open it up for questions that any of you guys have on getting up and running and taking the next step as far as your implementation. So let me go ahead and stop my share screen. And all right. Oh, and then Kendall is here. I don't know if he's helping me. He's watching. Okay.
I'm here. Hey, Richard.
Buddy.
I'm good. How are you?
Doing awesome.
Awesome. Awesome. I'm very excited about this. This is some great value.
I know. And you guys didn't even see what I put together today. I got to tell you guys, I got up at 1 a.m. to put all this together because we wanted to announce this yesterday, and it's just so much work to try and explain it so it's clear. And I had to make sure I wasn't giving the farm away. I had to run my costs and all that. and I still run it. I'm giving the farm away. Oh, well. All right. You guys raise your hand if you want to ask a question about getting your program jumpstart.
Richard?
Okay. Hey, Bill.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, now, William, you go by Bill or
I
William?
got my bill.
Okay. How are you? We haven't talked.
I'm terrific, thank you. I've had a heck of a day. I'm going through now a 4-day, 9 to 5 webinar kind of program like you're rolling out.
Yeah.
I'm with an existing group, and I'm kind of breaking away from them. That's where you come in. I wanted to ask you, I have REI Black Book, and I'm in the process of transitioning from FreedomSoft, which I've been using for a number of years. And they're terrific. They're helping me deploy and switch everything over. I was really excited to hear that you're going to be putting some of your marketing tools, especially the $1 Million postcard, as part of their suite. And when is that going to happen?
Well, I have a meeting with Candle at iNet USA. They're our mail service provider, and really great, cool things. I've started letting some of the stuff out of the bag during the 5-day, but we got some really great direct mail campaigns, tools, and really things that nobody else is doing, and very affordably and very efficiently. So I'm meeting with him tomorrow. And I would imagine, okay, so I think I promised him, I can start mailing for you guys now. It doesn't have to be integrated in REI Black. Okay? All right. So as far as getting into integration, I got to get Tim set up, and then right now REI Black Book, I think they use REI Print and Mail. Okay, and they might continue to do that, but we'll get my stuff on there. Plus, I'm working with Damon and his crew, and I'm looking to provide a lot of cool features in REI Black Book, including Roop design websites, okay? And maybe Roop design workflows and that type of thing. So I haven't had enough time to play with the platform. I just know it's very robust. It pretty much can do anything I want. And if it can't, they know how to figure it out anyway, okay?
They do. They're good.
They are very good. So you were with FreedomSoft, and you're switching over to REI Black Book. What's the advantage of making the switch?
It seems a lot more instinctive. The way you lay out the workflows, the call flows, it's a lot simpler. FreedomSoft has some glitches I could never quite get past. Rob Swanson's terrific. Bless his heart, he tries very hard, and he's got a lot of people signed up. But I saw REI Black Book. I said, unfortunately, I'm the first one to chase the new shiny object. So I'm trying to get off of that. And I said, no more. And then I saw Black Book, and I said, okay, I got to sign up for this. So,
where did you hear about REI Black Book?
It's a good question.
It's not a big deal if you don't know off the top of your head.
I saw it. There was, I think it was on Facebook. I may have seen something on Facebook.
Yeah, I did some research, and every platform has its pros and cons, right? I helped with Preston, Eli, I think it was Ely, right? Who started FreedomSoft? Was it Preston? And then he sold it to Rob?
Rob, yeah, I think you're right.
Okay, so I was involved with, ReallyFlow and FreedomSoft, and I was going to create my own platform using Infusionsoft. I sent 2 of my staff over to Infusionsoft and got certified, but I couldn't make it economically feasible for me to put together a CRM with all my stuff, right, all done for you through Infusionsoft, and because they wanted to charge way too much money to you guys. It just wasn't economical. So it probably could work now that they, after all these years, but I was working on that, 10, 12 years ago. So, yeah.
Maybe you can get
reinvent anything that's already created. Now I got REI Black Book.
Maybe you can get Black Book to do a Richard Roop white label version.
Well, we kind of got that. Do deals. I mean, it's actually Tim's white label. I mean, see, okay, yeah. I could do a white label, but I just want to support them. I don't need to.
Yeah.
In fact, I think it's good that people know that the engine behind the Roop white label is REI Black Book, because they got a great reputation.
Yeah.
And so I hide it, and I just want to, I want to collaborate. So maybe and I also want to promote them somehow when I have time.
Yep.
They could promote themselves better, but they get a lot of word of mouth. What else, Bill? What questions you got? What else can I do to help you?
Well, I definitely want to have the one-on-one. I want to call you. I've done about 24, primarily lease purchase, either sandwich leases or assignment deals. And I've met with great success on the assignment deals, and I've gotten brutally beat up with some of the sandwich leases. And so I'm migrating away from that, and I'm just 100% into seller financing, sub-twos. I follow a couple of people. My primary group has been for the past 3 years, Smart Real Estate Coach with Chris Prefontaine. Great guy.
Yeah, he is a really great guy. I haven't caught up with him. I reached out to him about 7 months ago. I was inviting him to a mastermind for experts, and he's like, I sent you a message back, I haven't heard from you in like 5 years, and now you're reaching out to me, type of thing, kind of a chat. And it's like he thought I was like trying to sell him something, and he didn't realize I'd been out of the picture for 5 years, right? So I had retired for 5 years. So he's a great guy. Yeah. What's his name? Smart
Real Estate Coach.
Okay. Yeah, I do want to catch up with him.
Yeah, you should. He's a good guy. But, it's become almost a cult. It's grown from a family feel to now there's over 100 of us around the country. I'm in what's called the high six group. You can't get higher than high six. And it's very expensive. And there are some other issues, but, I've learned a lot from Chris. He's been a good coach. And for me, it's time to move past that. I've been following William Tingle, who I really like. Very unassuming guy who is all in on sub-twos. And then several others.
He did join us for our expert panel on one of our nights.
Yeah, I saw him.
He didn't talk much.
No, he's quiet. Like I said, he's very unassuming. He's a very humble guy, but he's smart as a whip.
That's great. All right. So do we need to go ask anybody other people's questions, or what else you got, Bill?
No, I'm done. I'm looking forward to that one-on-one. I'll set something up with you, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, let me go ahead and give you guys an idea of my schedule. Calendar, you can book a 15-minute appointment. Any 15-minute appointment that's available, you can book. It's like, can I book it on Saturday? Well, yeah, if it's open on Saturday, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to be traveling to Tampa. I got a 2-day event with a bunch of real estate experts, real estate investing experts in Tampa for 2 days on the 30th and the 1st of October. I'm going to drive there. I'm going to do some meetings along the way. I'm going to go see INET USA. They're in Cocoa Beach and see Tim Yandel. Valerie wants me to come see her down in West Palm Beach, but I don't think I'm going to make it. Hey, you can come up and see me, Val. Let's see. So I'm going to be traveling and doing interviews while I'm on the road, but I'm still going to be supporting you guys during that time frame. But I'll be gone about a week on the road towards the end of the month. Then in October, we have REI Black Book is having a 3-day, it's called REI Boot Camp. So go to reibootcamp.com or go to the REI Black Book Facebook group, and they have information on, they have a 3-day event for their users. I don't know, maybe they offer it to people outside of they probably offer it to people outside. I haven't had time to coordinate with Damien on how I might support him at that event. I want to attend it as much as possible, So I'm going to try and get things done so I can actually intend, because I want to really learn what they can do and all their capabilities and possibilities so I can get creative and put my stuff into that platform. So there's October 9, 10, and 11 is their boot camp. And then our 5-day is like the 12th through the 3rd, that week following.
13th through the 17th.
Starts on Columbus Day. And about a week and a half later, we have our 3-day boot camp. And then about a week later, we start the coaching, which pretty much I'm going to be busy until we get done with that last boot camp. Setting up coaching, setting up $1 Million Postcard, setting up REI Black Book, setting up your libraries, the Roop Legacy libraries, all that stuff. So I'm just excited. This is my element. This is where I'm supposed to be. Brandy would say it's, you know, if you guys like Brandy, did you guys like Brandy and
Yeah.
enjoy her? Man, she's just amazing. But so she's kind of like my coach, right? And it's it's a little beyond my element as far as, you know, I'm just, you know, I'm the stretching and growing still. It's great stuff. All right, who's next? Who's got a question?
Looks like Damien might have something.
I had a question about the 3-day boot camp in October. Is that going to be recorded by chance? Because I'd be able to make the first day, but the 23rd and 24th, I have a previous obligation, which can be all day.
Yeah, yes, because we're charging people to be in it. So yes, we're going to record it and give them copies of the recording. What we would normally do at a boot camp in the past is we would always record our boot camps. In fact, I got a nice library of boot camps. So it'll be fun at some point to go through those and get those online, which I'll do. But we always record our boot camps because, number one, we always have a What's Working Best Now panel, and killer content that is never repeated. So Dave at Kicking Cow Productions, he would normally, you know, he would take the recording and he'd pull that stuff out, and then we would publish it as killer conversations, or some content online, because that's great stuff. So there's usually unique pieces of every boot camp that we do that we want to capture and share later. But yeah, for the participants, I have no problem with giving all the paid participants, and it's a paid event, so all the participants a copy of the boot camp. So I didn't think about that, but yeah, we'll do that. So you don't have to be on it live to get it, but the real value in a boot camp like that is it's going to be very interactive.
Hi, Richard. This is Maylene. How are you?
I'm doing good, Maylene. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. So I booked a startup call tomorrow. I just want to know what is going on today so I can ask you things tomorrow. But for me as a starter, I want to know what are the essential steps to take and how much does it cost monthly. So I know that in order to get leads, I need a domain name and a hosting. I already got a hosting. So, and then in order to set up or install the best of the world's template to my website, I need a setup. I need to set it up, but how much is the setup fee and how much is the monthly? Is there a charge? And then to send out the marketing postcard, is there also a charge? I want to figure it out how much per month I need to is my cost.
Yes, and I'll answer whatever I can right now, and that's why it's nice to have a one-on-one jump starts, because we can take a look at your specific situation. So the Roop designed websites will not be available before the end of the year. Okay, but I did give well, that's if I was working on it. Now that I have other people working on it, maybe it will be done in a couple of weeks. Who knows? I'm starting to learn to let go of my control here. So, but I did give you in the 5x5 system, you should have, if it's not in there, I'll get it to you. There's the Roop, the web copy for buyers and the web copy for sellers. I know it's in strategic marketing secrets. Does anybody know if it's in the 5x5 tools? It says it'd be web copy for buyers and web copy for sellers. So if you're setting up a website, I'm going to get you. Well, Damien, you got it. Are you there? Do you have the web copy from my Roop Design website?
I know we definitely had in the strategic marketing secrets.
Oh yeah. Okay. So you own that. Okay.
Yeah. I don't remember if that was in 5x5. I know there were some sections that talked about the website and stuff, but I think all the main tools are probably, let's see.
Yeah, the 5x5.
It's mostly in the SMS though.
Yeah, the 5x5 includes the ads, the advertorials, the letters, flyers, and postcards. So it does not have the have that.
It's probably in strategic marketing secrets. So I'll put that into like instant marketing tools. I'll get it on your platform at Roopodia. And and then as I'm working one-on-one, before I do that, I can just email it to people. In fact, I sent it over to Damon over at REI Black Book this weekend because I saw he was like working on my stuff, and I said, cool. He was setting me up some websites the way he does it. And I'm going, here's my stuff. Do it the way I do it. So it's cool. It's really cool to have that going on. So the cost of the website. So as a partner, Maylene, you have a license to use my stuff. So when we had these Roop Design websites, if they weren't in coaching, if they weren't part of the National Alliance of Real Estate Entrepreneurs, then we would charge them a monthly fee. And I forget what it is. I actually do have that old sign-up form in that program where we do that webinar. Forget what it is. It might have been something, $150 a month or something. I don't know. But you have a license to use that. So what we're going to do is I can get you that copy, and you can have someone put that together for you, or we can see about either having REI Black Book do it, and if they can't do it, then I do know that Tim Yano can do it. So those are two resources for doing a customized website before I actually have a template. The postcard mailings, Damien spent about $615 for 1,500 postcards. It was about 42 cents a piece. So right now it's running up. I usually just use 50 cents as a planning mailing, just 50 cents a postcard, and that might include a cheap list, but the 42 cents or whatever that we just recently did we already had lists. Okay, so we were using previously owned lists. So if we have to pull a list, it's like, I would just plan 50 cents a card plus your list. I recommend you spend, $500 to $1,000 a month on your marketing, and a majority of that might be postcard.
Yeah, here's the card that we set up with Tim over at iNet. So this is our front, and I don't know if that's I'm seeing it reverse on my screen, but it's probably correct on your screen. But that's how it winds up looking. So it's fantastic.
That's the magic
bullet.
It's the magic bullet. I changed a little bit of verbiage on there to update it, but there wasn't much to do. I'm gonna try some other tools, but that one's still good. That's what I recommend. And so Maylene, did I answer your questions as far as the cost of getting things set up?
Yeah, I got it. Thank you very much.
Good. And then I will talk with you tomorrow.
Sure.
How you doing, Marcus?
That's good. Just dropping off some tile to one of my houses.
Okay. All right. We had a jump start call. So yeah, just get on my calendar for the next step once you need it.
Absolutely. I'll sign up for probably Thursday, and we'll try to hopefully get those postcards out pretty quick and get some leads coming in. That'd be awesome.
Okay. Yeah, me and Valerie, we spent a good amount of time researching her list of her farm area, identifying her farm area, and playing with some different, list counts and everything that I'm very good if I do it on listability, but on her platform, you know, she wasn't familiar with it. I wasn't familiar with it, so it took a little longer. Did you learn a little bit more on how that works, Valerie?
Yes, I did.
What is the next step for you, Valerie?
Now, as I said, I'm working on my credibility list, credibility kit. Sorry, it's too late here. And I up since 4, so you got up earlier than me. You got up at 1. So excited. And yeah, credibility kit and logo.
So a lot of people, when they're like relaunching their business or starting a new business, it's good to have put together your credibility kit. So when I was working with Damien, he was saying, what's in it? And I said, well, I wrote an article on it somewhere. I'll search the internet for it. But it's actually in the Free and Clear Cash Machine manual. Okay, it's in the Free and Clear Cash Machine manual. So I went through I was uploading the manual today. And I go, oh, credibility kit's probably covered in there. And sure enough, there was a list. So I messaged that to you, Damien, because you were asking about it. And I messaged it to Valerie because she asked about it. That's why I was looking for it. So anything you guys, okay, here's the deal. You got so much stuff. Let me know if you're looking for something, and I will point to where it's at until I get it a little more all organized. Okay, well, feel free. Any other questions on getting your business jump started or going to the next step with our partnership program?
How about the blog? You were talking about you're going to set up the blog page or blog material.
Yeah, that's going to, it's not critical to the business. It just makes it better. And so that is actually part of the Roop Design website.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I recommend all of you, even though it's 9 years old, watch that webinar replay. It went long, so it's on like 2 videos. All the strategies behind that website is what you should be incorporating into your website. So when I do it, it's already automatically incorporated. Great copy. It's all designed to get either a buyer or a seller to do certain things. And it is a hub website. So the question is, should I have a buyer site, a seller site, right? Well, you can. And with REI Black Book, you can have a number of different sites. They can actually host your domains. The good thing about REI Black Book, it's all in one platform, so you don't have all these integrations, right? You can, they give you 10 phone numbers, that type of thing. So I think you need a main authority. We call it an authority site. I call it a money site. You have a tab for buyers. You can have a tab for sellers. And then you can just, when you're marketing, you can send them to your website /sell or /buy. Okay. So that's okay. I think it's good for buyers to see your credibility that you put out for sellers. And I think it's good for sellers to see how you operate and how you market to buyers. I think, and then if you're dealing with private investors, it's good for them to know how you buy and sell. So I think building your credibility online wasn't that, I mean, it was always important, but it's even more important today, really today. But here's the deal. I've been doing some research, and even back then, 9 years ago, I was saying search engine optimization is not what people should be selling you, okay? Because I'm looking for someone who's getting their leads from that type of service. It might, I just haven't done a lot of research maybe. But what you want a website is you want a website to send people to, not for people to find it per se. It's nice. Having that blog helps, right? Publishing is good. Search engine optimization is good, and we can do that. In fact, it's part of, anybody you work with on a website, they're going to do some of that anyway. Should actually. However, we're not relying on it. We're relying on sending out postcards or running ads or distributing flyers, ads online, ads offline, publishing, where we're driving people to our website. No, that's That's the utility of a website. And then once they get there, it should be designed to really entice them to fill out a form and get on your list. So sellers, we give them, you'll see this on the webinar, we give them like 37 different reasons or call to actions to get on our, fill out either call us or fill out a property information sheet online. The buyers, we say, join our buyers list, or here's our list of properties for sale. We just ask them over and over, give them multiple reasons to do business with us and multiple reasons to get on our list. Then once they're on our list, we have the automation that I didn't have before, that I wanted before. Now we have it with REI Black Book and these other platforms like Freedom Soft and Real Flow and Podium, or there's different programs out there. Let's see, REI Vault. Okay, there's some good systematic. We have all this technology to automatically follow up, but don't overdo it, and keep your personality in it. You don't want to be a robot, and you don't want to be coming across as a robot. There might be some decent people contacting me on LinkedIn, but if it looks like they're spamming me, if it looks like it's automated, if it looks like they're just blasting out, I've lost interest immediately. Does that make sense? So if you come across as genuine and personal, you can design that in your automation.
So let me get it straight. So we have our own domain and we have our own website, and then we go to the REI Black Book and put our link to the platform.
No, you can actually, you can create a website in about, well, Damon created one for me in 7 minutes, right? They already have templates on there.
Okay.
Actually have good templates for a hub site like I'm describing, or a buyer site or a seller site, and other different types of sites. They already have a host of templates ready to go that they've been using. So you don't have to create a website and bring it over there. If you're going to use them, you might want to just have it, set it up there.
But I like yours better.
Well, I'm going to set mine up there. No, their websites are fully customizable, but that's not what you guys should be doing. I want to create a Roop template that you guys can use, so you can say, okay, go have your programmer figure it out, or go to REI Black Book and use the template. So it'd be already there, but you'd be able to, it'd be easier. I have to host it somewhere. I can host iNet USA like I did before, but now, and they have a number of services that I want to make available to you guys. But REI Black Book is more of an all-in-one, so I'm going to start there, and if that's the way to go, because then I can just focus in on doing the mailing with iNet USA, which will be connected with REI Black Book. But iNet USA, they're experts and pros as well. They do outbound calls. They do done-for-you mailings for probate. So they have, I want to learn more about that stuff. But 90% of their clients for their probate mailing is real estate agents. I don't know why. They haven't attracted more investors. So I'm curious about that. They have a phenomenal Facebook group, and the guy, they're just very successful. They've got it down to a science. So if you're interested in probate, it's alltheleads.com is their platform. But I haven't checked it out as well, but they're also a list broker. So iNet USA can get me lists, Listability can get me lists, and then you guys got some services that you're paying for that we can get lists. But like I was telling some of you that I worked with one-on-one, the easier it is to get the list, the worse the list. So someone was telling me how they were putting together their list. That's going to be a much better list. Who was that? Is it anybody on the line where they were putting their list together? They were it wasn't available to everybody.
I have the program to do that. Remember,
Yeah.
we were working on that last Saturday.
Yeah, so like all the leads with Tim Yano, they have people going down to the courthouse and getting these probate leads. And so it's a lot of work, but then they sell the leads to a certain number of people in each county. Beware of those leads that you get for free, because like there are some services that you sign up for a monthly fee or whatever, and they send you a bunch of leads every month, like free leads, but they're sending them to everybody. And it's typically the real value in those leads is wait 6 or 9 months and then hit them. That might be better, but there's better ways to try and make, you know, put lipstick on a pig. So.
I have a question. First of all, it seems like you have answers to all our questions, and it's amazing that everything is systemized. It's just perfect. We've been working with you for a while. Probably I'm one of the first who started with you this program, with this partnership. So I'm so excited. The only thing that I have on my mind right now, what about legal side of all this? I want to be kind of secured. I want to sleep well, that no, everything's okay here.
Normally those questions are answered when you go through a training system. So like when you go through the free and clear cash machine, I kind of, especially when I get into the paperwork and stuff, I'll kind of cover that. I think you need a real estate attorney. If you're going to, whatever paperwork you're going to use, my paperwork typically can be used anywhere, but you would always want to have someone locally go through it before you used it, right? So there are certain strategies behind like paperwork and closing documents and that type of thing, where the strategies behind it work the same, but it may be different in different states. So that's why you need a legal expert or someone who knows what it is in your state. My go-to guy, my attorney is William Bronchek, and so that's who I used to close all my deals with. And then I had legal questions. I'd get a hold of him, and some of my students, I would go ahead and send them to legalwiz.com. So legalwiz.com. Are you familiar with William Bronchek, Valerie?
No.
Oh, legalwiz.com. Yeah, he's like the #1 guy. There was 3 people that got me started back in late 90s or the early mid 90s. When I got started, it was with Ron LeGrand. I mean, I studied a few things that didn't really do much. Like I got the Carlton Sheets course or whatever, but it was really Ron LeGrand and then Lou Brown and then William Bronchek. I got their courses, I got their information, and I like Bronchek's documents, I like Lou's trust agreements, I like Ron's something. Like my paperwork is kind of from all 3 of them, and the training from those. I learned from everybody, and you want to be a constant student. So, all right, okay. So, what other questions you have on legal? Making sure everything's legal.
Just to be prepared, do we need a separate company, separate, let's say LLC, for each property we buy?
Oh, okay, now you're talking. There's a couple things. You're talking asset protection, and you're also talking about personal liability protection. So you want to protect your assets, or you want to be protected from liability, and then there's also tax reason, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Is a good source for that. There's other sources for that. But he's got a lot of good articles on entity structuring and stuff like that. I've done webinars and programs. He's probably spoke at my events and stuff. And I've had other experts speak. Lou Brown is real good at that. See, what I've always done is have each property into a trust. Okay, so this is what I recommend, but you need to get advice. I think you should have a corporation or an LLC that operates your business. Okay, and I call that a property manager, because you're buying houses and you're managing houses, right? So that's your property manager. Now, almost like that's like you should almost treat it like a separate business, you know. And then your property manager, you know, maybe gets paid, you know, fees for managing your property. Okay. Because you know, if you hold property, if you flip property, those profits are like ordinary income, and you can, you know, you want to offset it with your expenses from your property management company, right? And I'm not an expert on all this, but so I had a corporation, right, as my operation, and then I had an LLC just to hold investments, just to hold property. So if I knew something was a keeper, if I knew I was going to keep it, then I would title it. Oh, you know, actually they would all go in a trust, a land trust, and those documents are in my free and clear cash machine. Okay, free and clear cash machine has all the documents to create a trust, right? And then, but as far as, you know, having a corporation or an LLC, those type of entities, you know, yeah, I'd read some articles on that. But a corporation to operate, and then an LLC to hold investments, hold property. So if I flip something, it's going to be in my operating entity. So basically, my operating entity is taxed as a real estate dealer.
It's a little bit complicated at this point.
You know what? People get bogged down on that stuff. It's the least important thing I want to worry about, or it's not exciting to me. So that's why I want you to go to Bill's website and read up on it, or Google questions, or ask people. But that's the place to start, because I had those questions, and yeah, when those questions come up, you just go out and get the answer. And so that's the resource on that. I'm not the #1 resource for entity structure, or entity or tax plan, or liability protection. I'm not the I'm actually a poster boy for that. Because I typically don't worry too much about things. But now I think, okay, right now I think that it's actually more important these days. It's what's important is that you don't make promises you don't have any control over keeping, right? So we're going to start having some additional like contingencies in our agreements, just so that if we got in a bind, we're not defaulting. We're just saying, okay, the contingency says, okay, if it's, you know, if my property's vacant for 3 months, then, you know, I can suspend my next mortgage payment to you as a seller. There are things that we might want to do going forward. That's nothing crazy right now. What's important right now with the uncertainty of the future is how we do our deal structure. Okay, how much, and we started doing this. In fact, who was I doing deal structuring with? Damien. I was doing deal structuring with you with the UPG. All right, how was that?
Very eye-opening. It was awesome. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So he has to make an offer this week to a free and clear deal that he got out of his mailing, and so we went ahead and spent some time working on his deal structure. He's actually a coaching client prior to the Roop Partnership, so he gets like 90 minutes a week on a different program. So we spent 90 minutes working on his deal structure just because I had to teach him how to use it. Now you're going to get familiar with it. You've got the training videos and all that. Now you have a copy of the software because you didn't have that. And so you had the free and clear offer generator. Now you got the ultimate profit generator. But what you noticed me do, Damien, is in the past I would assume there's going to be no appreciation on rents or values for 3 or 4 years when I structure my offers in that spreadsheet. Okay, just to be conservative, even if it's a fast moving market or a growing market. On your deal, how many years did we do with no appreciation?
I think we did 7.
We did 7 years with no appreciation. I've never done that before, but I'm starting to do those things. And I also told you, hey, we got a little cushion here, we got a little cushion here.
Mm-hmm.
I put all these protection things in there, right? And how did our offers look?
Amazing. They really did.
Almost unbelievable, right?
Yeah, I mean, any seller willing to do like any type of creative financing with you should have their eyes bugging out of their head, going, "Really? You'll do that with me? Okay." So, yeah, I mean, it's awesome.
All right, so good. Yeah, you need to give me an update like tomorrow or something on what's going on with your seller there as far as presenting offers, because we got to finish up your UPG.
Yep.
All right. Any final questions, guys?
Now, I think you mentioned it a little bit. I mean, I have all this old Chris Kirshner trust paperwork. Should I keep that for when I do subject twos, or do I just take it as as a normal transaction when I just buy and put it in my LLC? I think you hit a little bit on that. But.
Well, how many properties do you put in an LLC?
Usually I have my one flipping LLC, so I just usually put everything in there. My holding LLC is different, and then I got another holding LLC with another couple of properties in it as well. But those are ones I've had for years.
Yeah, and yeah, the trust is really is for immunity, so to kind of keep your transaction private. It doesn't really give you any liability protection, right? The LLC does give you liability protection, and I think, so you're only using trust if it's a subject to?
Yeah, I haven't used it in probably 15 years, but yeah, that's what we used to do. A long time ago when we were taking subject twos.
Yeah.
Right now, I just go at everything. I'll buy everything cash, so I usually just store it in my main LLC that I flip with.
Yeah, we're gonna change that, right, Marcus? We're gonna change that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely, I got to get back to the creative stuff.
All right. I think whatever you're doing is fine. You're going to be holding properties think of them as a keeper. You buy it, creative financing, then you put a tenant buyer in it, right? And so you won't have the same landlording headaches, but you're going to be holding properties for a number of years. And ideally, I think this is a great wealth building strategy. So I personally wish I didn't sell all the properties. I've bought and sold over 500 houses. I wish I kept all the ones I sold. Because
yeah, I know that feeling. I know that feeling very well.
So when we do deal structuring, I ask you guys, are you looking to get a bunch of cash up front? Are you building cash flow? Are you in wealth building and looking for cash later? And then we will focus on what's important to you in your business. So some people are interested in building that wealth. So they don't need to raise any cash out of the deal. They don't need a big, strong, positive cash flow. They just want everything to hold its own and then rapidly pay off that mortgage and build that equity over time. So that's for cash later. Cash flow, we can offer, give the seller half the cash flow, and then we keep out the cash flow, but we can also offer the seller no cash flow or a low cash flow. No cash flow creates some warnings in my spreadsheet. So we'll just structure the offer based on, and I know a lot of people will want to raise some cash, but once at a point, they're going to be at a point where you don't need to be pulling a bunch of cash out of each deal. So you actually allows you to make higher profits per deal because you're raising less money for the deal. You can get more deals accepted because they're a little bit better because this, that, and the other. The more money you raise on a deal, the lower it costs you money, so the price comes down. So what you're going to find with this ultimate profit generator is we figured a target profit. Damien, what was our target profit on your deal?
Oh, geez.
It was 9,000 a year, or
yeah, we're looking at 9,000 a year, 20,000 up front, and
no.
At the end of the term was, geez, we came up with what, 120 or 180,000.
Well, no. So what we put in your software is we want to make, if we're going to buy this house, we want to make it's a $565,000 house.
Right.
So we want to make at least 100,000.
Yeah.
So we put a minimum of 100. That's what we we can change and adjust, right? I think we played with it, maybe change it to 75, right? But 100.
Yeah. We
Yeah, 100
exceeded on every scenario though, pretty much.
Yeah, but then we said like 9,000 a year.
Yeah.
And then we had a 20-year plan, and your target profit was $180,000. And but the price was too high. So we said, no, let's not do that. We have to increase our profit or go a shorter term. So we went with 15 years. So we created 5 years, 7 years, 5, 9, 12, and 15, something like that.
Yeah.
As far as number of years. And yeah, the 5-year deal, he gets, if he's finances for 5 years, we give him just over market value with, much more than he would net from an agent. So the seller net sheet was like 500,000 and the market value is like 565 because we take off holding costs, commissions, negotiations, all that. So if someone's selling for 565, they're gonna be lucky to get 500. And we could offer on a 5-year owner financing deal, 565,000 full price with no costs, right?
Yep.
And we played with giving him a bunch of cash flow, giving him a bunch of cash. The guy wants to buy a yacht, so we ran an offer where he's getting 235,000, right? We don't really want to do that because we got to go raise that money, right?
Yeah.
But
He said he wasn't too concerned about the boat, so we'll look at the shorter terms on there. In fact.
Well,
So.
yeah, I never believe what a seller says, anyways.
Yep.
So anybody who's watching this replay who's not in the Roop Partnership Program, this particular, what we're offering with all my free support and everything, actually we're not offering again, but we are offering the Roop Apprentice Program where you do get the free support. You just don't have the setup with the profit sharing and the coaching. And it's go to Roop Podia. Actually go to richardroop.com. And I went ahead and put it at the top of my page and just click on Roop Apprentice Program. It'll take you to the offer. Offer is good only until September 23rd. So a week. You got 1 week to decide if you want to work with me or not. Hopefully you see that this is not pie in the sky. This is not like someone trying to sell you something and then he's out the door. I am working. This is what I do. So I'm totally transparent. And if you're not happy, just let me know. I'll make it right somehow. So I'll make you happy. If I can't make you happy, then I'll pay you to go away.
Richard, I have a question.
Yeah.
I opted in for your e-letters.
I haven't sent them.
Okay, then I'm going out. Okay.
Yeah, I've been so busy. I sent one. I only sent 2 out since July
I see.
I want to get one out in the next couple of days.
Okay. Very excited.
But I've been keeping everybody abreast of what I've been doing on Facebook. So that's, if you're me on Facebook, you pretty much know what's up. I need to reach out to my e-letter subscribers. And I also have to ship out a bunch of my inventory. Christopher, my son's been helping me gather all my my $1 million giveaway. So we just ordered some boxes from the post office, and that's another project I got to knock out. But a lot of deadlines. So and that's how you get things done. Make deadlines for yourself. That's why we're always talking about your goals, right? Right, Damien? We're always, in fact, Damien started a coaching program where we meet every week, as opposed to the regular coaching program when I have a staff and everything, is you meet with your coach every once a month, your accountability and performance call, but you got all that support in between, right? Now, I auctioned off some coaching seats, and Damien was one of the winners, and so he gets me a regular call every week. And I put his feet to the fire because we both knew it was like, okay, what is your goal for the next 7 days? All right. And then, okay, what are you going to do? What am I going to do? Right. And then, okay. And then, so 7 days later, it's like, okay, here's what did you say you're going to do? What happened? What got in the way? Right. All right. And then how are we going to fix any of that? And then, okay, what's our goal for the next 7 days? Right. And you know, we transformed your business, Damien. You were like floundering and spending all kinds of money. And so, you know, so I'm happy to see that, but that's how it works. That's what we do.
I have one more question. Richard, you mentioned the name of Dr. Ted James. And I Googled him and I started, you know, watching his YouTube videos, and it's so great. Which particular, you know, topic would you recommend for us, the people who are doing this partnership, to watch, to work on our inner game?
Well, Tad James his company is the Tad James Company, right? I think it's NLPcoaching.com.
Yes.
And they do a lot of their stuff in Australia. They also have an office in Las Vegas. And I've tried to meet up with him the past 8 months. I haven't been able to do that when I was driving back and forth between here and California. I was trying to reconnect. So the videos, there's two things. There's the inner game, mental mindset, the timeline processes are really good. In fact, Brandy is a resource for doing timeline work, okay? Because she's been trained by Tad's son, Matt James, which is interesting. Me and Matt went through our training together. And now Matt owns the Advanced Neurodynamics, or another, they changed the name of it. And that he's NLP.com. So NLP training, there's what I originally got was I learned the 5-step sales process, which was NLP on the phone as a salesperson, as a investment broker. So there's the rapport, there's finding the need, there's this understanding people's values. There's that technical business aspect of NLP, which Tony Robbins, a lot of his stuff is NLP. You know, it's like communication strategies. Now, inner game side, I haven't been staying abreast of all what's happening best, you know, today, what's working best now. But I would say anything on timeline therapy. So the timeline stuff and the timeline therapy stuff, I highly recommend. There's also things called parts integration. In fact, you guys might, if you watched me on the 5-day, you might have seen me, or I might have done it on a one-on-one call with you guys when you're describing a conflict. Like part of me is thinking this and part of me is thinking this, and I explain that to you, and I do this visual parts integration, and I say, well, once they decide that they can work together, they can go have all their energy go in the same direction. And that's a visual, called a visual squash. So I use this stuff with you guys. It's nice to learn how to do that stuff. If I know that I'm just trying to get you to overcome limiting thinking or a limiting belief or fear or procrastination or anything like that, I not only do I know how to help you, but my coaching staff knows how to help you, because that's what coaching is all about. Coaching is all the inner game. In fact, Valerie, we'll get the inner game coaching library online as soon as possible. Okay, I'm just sorting through all my products, digitizing that. I can't get my originals from my producer. I'm just can't wait any longer. I was hoping to get that. I just can't wait any longer. So it's just a lot of work. But we got some great coaching, and we'll start doing once a month, we'll do like an inner game call. We'll do one call on what we call the inner game. But our library has Willie Hooks, we got Keith, we got Courtney, we got Mark, and we also have Dan Duran on some of the older ones. Me and Dan split up in about 2008, 2009. But he's on a lot of my old legacy library stuff. And it's great stuff. People love Dan. Me and him we presented very well together.
Is this Mindstorming event you got coming up again in October? Is that the same one we just went through, the 7-day thing, or is that full Mindstorming coming up?
Okay, what we did was 7-figure lifestyle business challenge, right? That was based on $1 Million Mindstorming that me and Willie did together 10 years ago, okay? Coaching class. It's kind of a high level thing. So I kind of wanted to do it. I really wanted to do that, but we really don't have enough time to do the whole thing. I was hoping just stay focused and go through a more elaborate step-by-step process on that. But I think I got the feedback from you guys is that you actually want more how-to information as well. You know, think strategies, what's working best now. And so we're let me show you my screen here. But did you see my post in the group today asking people's feedback about the topics, the inner game and the outer game topics that you guys would like to see in the boot camp?
Yes, I saw that too.
Okay. So Marcus, I changed the name, okay? So our next 5-day, instead of $1 Million Mindstorming, instead of the 7-figure lifestyle business, it'll be the same group. I'm calling it the Ultimate Masterclass. So we're going to mesh teaching the inner game, the ultimate strategy, marketing, and yourself. We call it level 3 business mastery. So our main focus will be right now, unless you guys give us different feedback, it's always going to be around the inner game. So yes, you're going to get that inner game component. We are going to be setting goals, but we're not going to spend the whole time on it, right? But we want you to understand how to go out and, you know, attract some leads. What are the best practices for attracting leads? And what are the best investing models? So the best investing model is the ultimate strategy to be using. The best marketing right now, it might change between now and then, but it will be whatever the best is. Right now, it's you know, postcard. I'm still looking for other opportunities. I'm always open. You know, I don't know everything, but I just haven't found the evidence that anything's better. Okay, and especially for this model too. But we work the inner game in there. We'll be talking about the best marketing things you should be doing. We'll be talking about the ultimate strategy, maybe some updates to your home study, or well, we're actually going to have new people in there. And then we'll have level 3 business mastery. That is running your business like a business, having a team, delegating, hiring. That's kind of advanced, but we'll talk about delegating and outsourcing, okay? And we'll talk about systemizing and automating. And I wanted to do more about it last time, but I wasn't really prepared. And the work I do with REI Black Book and iNet USA between now and that event, I'll have a very good idea of how I can just in a short period of time give you what I call bold nuggets, Roop bold nuggets. I created that this weekend or something. Bold nuggets, not gold nuggets, bold nuggets. I think that's what. It's like, how do I get bite-sized pieces of information that really make a huge difference? I call them sledgehammer techniques. You know, huge leverage in just a simple strategy. So that's my goal, is to take so much. I got all this stuff. How can I make it really easy to consume? So I'm working on it.
Okay, cool.
I'll answer your question. Does that answer your question, Marcus?
Yeah, no, it sounds like we're going to do more of other stuff besides the inner game stuff. So that's good. I'll go back to the.
What is most important to you?
What's that?
What is most important to you, Marcus? Do you like the outer game stuff, the tech, or the inner game, or where are you at now? What's important to you?
No, absolutely outer game. I'm just trying to bring leads in to get some more deals. That's my most important thing. But I always love the inner game stuff just because, you know, I'm trying to motivate myself, push myself, not procrastinate, really push myself to actually do what I say I'm going to do. And then I don't know if my goals are strong enough to keep me going forward with it. You know what I mean? Or maybe I'm too conscious.
Yeah, we talked about that before.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true. We talked about your inner game before you enrolled. Yeah.
But
motivate, because you're the problem with you, Marcus, is you're comfortable.
that's right. Exactly right. And that's a bad thing.
He's too comfortable. So yeah, we'll keep working on that. buddy. We'll work on that for sure.
Oh,
For sure.
sounds
Yes.
good. Sounds good. All right, thanks.
All right. You bet.
Richard, I want to share some thoughts about what I would like to see. I think really helpful will be some practice, right? Like role play. Is there any chance to do that?
Uh,
Especially for
at
beginners.
the
It
boot
would be,
no, we could okay. So role playing, we can do that on group calls. Okay, we have what's called an advanced development call where we do that type of thing. The in coaching. At the boot camp, we can do that role play. At the 5-day, it's not like we can. It's not what we can do at a 3-day intensive boot camp. The 5-day, it's only we're breaking it up into 5 days. It's like only an hour and a half each day. So we can only do role playing if we had like a bonus session.
I see.
But we could do that at the boot camp, and we'll start those type of calls in November. Okay, so but what is your intention for role playing? What is your intention? Get good at it? To practice?
To be comfortable to implement all this I learned.
Okay, here's what I usually do. I get you talking to sellers and you figure it out on the phone.
On my own.
Now, Damien, he had a little bit of fear and stuff. So he, he had a different approach on the phone because he was taught something differently. So I told him to go through the 5x5 on pre-screening and exit planning. So the same thing in the free and clear cash machine and in the 5x5, go through pre-screening and exit planning and talking with sellers. And the more of that stuff you hear and listen to and go over, the more comfortable you'll get. You'll get familiar with it's really a natural process, but there are some, there's some structure to it. And yes, you're going to learn on, we say you should practice off the field, and I think you should. I think you should role play. And you should find someone. In fact, maybe we can, in the group, why don't you post that the Facebook group and ask for some partners to do that with?
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you guys should work together, and but you're going to learn by doing. We're not going to just analyze it to death. And I have very, I can see that you're going to be really good, Valerie, as far as taking action.
I'll do my best.
Well, I have high hopes. I mean, I have high expectations. I mean, you're on the hot spot now. You're on there.
A lot of responsibility.
The biggest thing, especially for you, Marcus, is having some goals that motivate you. Having some things that you're working towards. So, and you got to and think about all areas of your life. Your relationships, your health, your fitness, your spirituality, as well as your business and career and money, that type of thing. It's just expand your thinking. And Marcus, did you not get a chance to go through all the replays on your lifestyle business?
I've been going over the 5x5. I'm doing the videos all on that, and then I've been reading it as well. So it's taking me. That's where I'm putting my main focus on right now. But I can go back and watch the 7-day videos and try to get more of a complete thing. I think. Where's that place? I don't even know where that is exactly.
Well, did you sign up as a VIP during that event?
No, I think I just went as the regular one. I didn't know what it was about when I signed up.
Yeah. The people that paid to be a VIP, they get the replay on that.
Yeah.
But you
got.
Yeah. But you guys, because you're in coaching, I'm going to go ahead and put it in your coaching library.
Oh, awesome! That'd be great. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Tim's crew, Tim and Kendall, their crew is downloading those, and they're going to get them, and they're going to put it up on Roop Podium for me. But Brian's computer crapped out on him yesterday or something. So we're in the process of getting that up. We'll have it up in a week.
Now let me ask you one thing here. When Valerie was saying about doing the calls and stuff like that, I mean, I got a lot of bad habits on the phone, and I usually, I'm usually paying way more on these houses than I need to be paying. But I usually, I say a lot of bad things, and I just kind of disqualify the guy right away and just kill the deal pretty quick. So I get something needs to change in my verbiage or something what I'm using. I don't know whether I just read a bunch of scripts and try to figure it out that way or.
Yeah. Use my script.
Okay. Yeah. I'll go through. I'll find the script.
All right.
It's
so,
just, I got a habit of
okay.
doing it a certain way. I've been doing it for years and made hundreds of calls like this, but it's just, I don't have it down the way I'd like it to tell you the truth.
Right. At some point, I might suggest people start recording their calls. I think we might have had people do that. They might do that in coaching sometimes. Oh, and by the way, Valerie, you can role play with your coach if you need to. They'll help you on that as well. But you'll hear me do it, and I give you my script. So you have scripts in your free and clear cash machine. All the documents, all that. You got the manual and all the paperwork and the scripts and mark and all that is already, you have that. I just need to get you the audio. When you go through the audios on the free and clear, you'll hear me talk about how I pre-screen sellers, how I talk to them, how I negotiate. But I really don't, I negotiate using the offer generator. That's how I negotiate. 5x5 I think is good. Have you gotten through pre-screening and exit planning on that yet? Or is there a negotiation?
I did.
Because I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, very good. I'm forward to working with Mark Hoffman.
All right, let him know.
He's great.
Oh, by the way, you guys all should be in the Facebook group for coaching, $1 Million Coaching. Richard Roop's $1 Million Coaching. I sent you I think the link in the Jumpstart email, so go ahead and find it. If you haven't been invited, just ask to go in and I'll let you in. But that's where we can talk, on things that we can't keep public, things that are proprietary. It's a private forum, so you can be, you can open up a little bit there too. There's not a whole lot of people, just a lot of my support people that I want to bring on board or that are coming on board. And then I had about 8 coaching clients, had 4 at the beginning of June, and I had another 4 at the end of June, but it was only like a 4-week program. So some of them extended. I didn't want them to because they got such a good deal. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. I think this was worthwhile, and we'll do this again next Tuesday. And I'm going to start. I have a lot of things to get set up, but I'm going to go ahead and put together my call schedule, and I will post that probably in the coaching forum, and also send it by email, and I'll start doing regular calls. So I want to do those weekly Q&A calls. I want to do deal structuring calls, and do those type of things before we start doing all the coaching calls in November. So, but join any calls that I do if you want, and then jump on my schedule whenever you need. Okay, guys? Grab me in the forum. You can ask me questions in the forum because I'm always monitoring our Facebook group and my wall. Have a great evening, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
It was nice seeing you all.